watch this though, real quick.
What does it mean to win a championship?
60 of the greatest players in the history of the game.
$500,000 to the first place team.
Winning one is a monumental achievement.
It's a massive moment for Apex.
Winning two establishes you as one of the greatest. Now winning three, only one player has ever done it.
Zer0, now you are literally the best Apex player in the world.
A once-in-a-generation talent.
This is your monster MVP.
Three-time champ Zer0.
Someone truly extraordinary.
He also has won with the sub. He's had multiple fucking roster changes.
Someone praised by the best and respected by the elite.
And there is no other person in this world right now that I know other than Zer0 when it comes to winning.
The player everyone is talking about.
They now set the record for the most points ever in a group stage setting.
What is your statement to the rest of the world right now?
Where's the challenge?
And the best part of the story
Talking motherfucker.
is that he wasn't always the best.
My first land, I came 67th.
He was a trash man.
Who's the best IGL? Zer0.
Zero.
We'll go 0.
There was tears involved.
If you ever fucking leave mid-game again,
IGL.
you're fucking dropped. I swear to God.
To understand the story that is about to unfold, I feel like the preseason invitational is the best way to start. Not because you want anything, but because of quite the
Now
opposite.
back into the safe zone. The thermite comes in as well. Can he get? No, he goes down. And excellence will be wiped. One thermite there.
Zer0's first line was a complete disaster, placing 67th out of the 80 teams that were invited. And from the sidelines, Zer0 watched as he saw the best player in the world win the tournament.
My first land, I came 67th. I watched him win, and I was like, this is what I want to do.
It was at this moment when Zer0 knew he wanted to fully pursue a pro career. But there were just a few problems. The game was not popular in the Oceanic region, meaning competition there was held to a lower standard, which meant the tournaments Zer0 was participating in were significantly easier compared to any other region. Nearly every time he competed, he won, meaning he had nothing more to learn competing in his region. And Zer0, being 19 without the proper funds to move to the US, was stuck in Australia with practically zero opportunities. The second problem, his region was dying fast. In order to keep competing, the Oceanic region would be merged with Asia Pacific, and all regional tournaments would no longer be held in the Australia servers.
Yeah.
This would mean Zer0 and his team would need to participate in tournaments with over 150 ping, which is a significant disadvantage. However, this opened up a door for Zer0. It provided more money-making opportunities and a better quality of practice. And this was reflected in his first big tournament, placing 5th in the Summer Circuit playoffs. It was a good placement considering that it was their first performance with all their disadvantages. But one of Zer0's teammates, Sharky, was slowly burning out from competing, which eventually led to his exit. Typically, losing such a key player would lead to a decline in performance. But that wasn't the case for Zer0. He even improved, securing 2nd place in the Autumn Circuit playoffs, a significant boost from his previous results with Sharky. I think it was at this point when Zer0 started to realize that his skills could actually take him somewhere. And now that his close friend Sharky had left, there was nothing holding him back from joining a better team. And so, he decided to form a team with Jim Burton and Templex under a new organization. An organization called Reignite. See, this is where everything begins. Every single major event that would soon occur. It all begins with Reignite. But with their current team, they were regarded as one of the most talented rosters in Asia. They didn't fail to meet expectations either, dominating the APAC region with multiple tournament winnings under their belts, eventually leading to their qualification for the ALGS 2022 Split 2 Pro League. an event that would feature the biggest teams around the globe.
That's crazy.
It was a tournament that would
do
determine
this shit.
the best.
I'm trying to get my friends to do
and
it.
with tens of thousands of people watching, this was the opportunity to get his name out there. But there was just one problem.
Chinese researchers say they have identified a
mysterious new virus, so-called
coronavirus.
So like that's why we were all doing like COVID tests and shit. We were all like worried that like maybe like he spread it or something.
Just one day before their flight, Jen Burton tested positive for COVID-19. And due to strict health regulations, players with COVID-19 were prohibited from competing, meaning they had to attend the tournament with a substitute player.
Yeah.
JMW, a British player that had been substituted last minute. He had just swapped to controller a few months ago. And not only that, he had never spoken to the team ever. On paper, the odds of them even making it to the finals seemed laughably slim. Judging from their reactions in the early games, it was clear they didn't have high expectations.
Moments for Team Liquid. Top 2 right now. It's Reignite looking to stay in control. Optic Gaming, have they done enough? I saw a number 1 on the left there. Optic Gaming, I think.
Reignite had made it to the finals after staying in 10th place. It seemed as if through luck, the team had miraculously made it to the finals. If they had even lost one placement, they would have been sent to the losers bracket where they would have to repeat the process all over again. Now that they had made it to the last stage of the tournament, you might have expected them to struggle, to linger around that 10th place. But what's happened next?
Shot! Reignite does it! Reignite is your champion of game number 1, Australia!
Nice.
Stand up, mates! What a start from the boys down under!
It was as if a switch had been flipped and they started winning games. And when they weren't winning, they were consistently placing near the top. How? How did they go from hanging on by a thread to winning so consistently in a lobby that's supposed to be harder than anything they've ever faced? It was dazzling, crazy, absurd, phenomenal. Use whatever adjectives you like. This team was on track to winning the whole thing. And then it's happened.
To play off of Optic Gaming is engaging with Luminosity. Reignite to go in for the third party and take this entire victory.
LG is out. Optic Gaming skill case goes out as well. Zero's gonna do it. Wide left flank, and just like that, Reignite is gonna do it. They are your champions, Australia.
The outcome left everyone stunned. Was it sheer luck, or was it the result of Zero's leadership? Regardless of which one it was, the community started to take notice. Zero's Twitch viewership, once averaging around 28 viewers, suddenly skyrocketed to nearly 500 every time he went live. However, many were still convinced that this win was just a fluke, and Zero just got lucky with how things played out. And so, they did it again.
That's the last alive is Verholz. It's all up to Verholz. Dark Zero, he's out. Dark Zero looking to go back to back. They take out one. Sharky pushes. Dome shield is placed, and now Dark Zero is going to be your champions of the Apex Legends Global Series.
Yeah.
Back to back.
This second victory confirmed one thing. It wasn't luck. It wasn't some fluke. And it definitely wasn't a trick. What was the secret to his leadership? What made him so effective? What allowed him to work so well with someone he had never talked to before? Well, to understand how he won, we need to understand his leadership style. Zero is known to be one of the more aggressive leaders, not in how he acts, but how he decides to play the game. Imagine if the outcome of every team fight was predetermined, and that outcome would be a win as long as there was no interference.
Yeah.
How would that change your decision making? Based on that idea, would you ever need to avoid a fair fight?
No.
Or would you lose confidence in your decision making?
No.
Because that is probably the closest, although slightly exaggerated manner of describing Zero's style.
Yeah.
It's allowed him to make risky calls without hesitation. And because of that, there would always be a constant pressure for him to perform.
Like his fucking 3v3 confidence or his IGLing is just like the biggest difference between like what TSM was in his team. He obviously also takes like risky fights and shit that you have to like perfectly play out, because if you don't, then you just get insta-third and die.
For Zer0, the pressure was nothing new. He had a history of competing in sports, playing basketball from a young age, and had competed in local tournaments. He was used to the pressure, and of course, he was able to think with a clear head and lead his team in the heat of the moment. Analyzing his previous performances, Zer0 had experienced 5 different roster changes in 2 years. It seems as if these combined experiences gave him the ability to lead any player in any environment and win. Now,
that's crazy.
People were beginning to see why the team was so successful, and Zer0 was gaining recognition from nearly every pro player in the scene.
Chiro is statistically better than Hal is. Chiro is better than everyone else statistically right now than everyone else is. The Hal is definitely the second.
Back with another milk. Chiro is the best IGL in the world, but in like an NA number 1, right? Number 2, it probably has to be Hal.
Even Imperial Hal, arguably the best overall player, acknowledged Zer0.
Top 5 all of time. So me, just no doubt. That's number 1. Zer0.
In just 3 years, Zer0 had gone from an unknown player to potentially the best in the world. But just as he reached the peak of his competitive career, a series of events was about to unfold that would drastically alter the course of his journey. When you're riding high on the good times...
What's up? It's your mother.
After Sweden, I didn't think it could get better than that. But today, after a nightmare start as well, 1 point in the first 2 games, somehow with match point managed to pull it out again.
The fire that once burned brightly.
I thought initially that like after LAN I'd be like content with my career. I could like chill out, but like now I'm playing just 12 hours a day. I've started streaming as well. It's pretty fun.
Can start to flicker.
Yeah.
Ever so slightly.
Yeah, I signed up to do like to sign up to do tournaments for ALGS.
Left to do.
But I'm trying to get my friends. I don't know if they signed up yet.
I'll switch to roller.
The following ALGS tournament, the 2023 Split 1 playoffs, they placed 13th, their worst result to date.
I don't know if we're winning,
shifts.
but
Apex Season 10 just started. The new legend Seer is freaking ridiculous.
Only revealed your position, but also gave the enemy team info on your current health and shield, interrupted you from healing, interrupted you from reviving, interrupted you from interacting like using respawn beacons. I could write a 5-page.
They nerfed the fuck out of Seer once they added the health bar to everybody. They
Google Doc right now about why this character is broken.
Lifestyle adjustments.
Hey boys, ready?
This video's it's a documentary about Zer0. He's like the best Apex player in the world. He's won 3 ALGS tournaments.
For the Aussies to come to NA Pro League?
Wait, within 2 months? Yeah. You're gonna be here in 2 months?
We applied for visa this week, so hopefully we get it.
Their world was turned upside down by a storm of changes. And for the first time, Zer0 and his team faced true adversity. Here, we began to see how Zer0 responded to failure. And it wasn't pretty.
Oh my god. Like, are you guys real? I zeroed in a fucking room, and you just walk out of it.
He began to embody a villainous figure. Unapologetically blunt.
5, if you're under.
Like, you need one, yes? Fucking speak.
That's what Apex does to you, though.
Answering. What? So you need a back? What the fuck is wrong with you?
I literally can't hear you because you're both fucking talking.
Emotional.
Yeah. That's what Apex does to you.
Fuck, I suck.
I don't ever get like that when I play Apex, bro. I don't. I keep my calm and cool the whole time. That's why I don't know. My friends.
We gotta have one more kill.
I think we play really well together.
Suck.
It's fine.
And cruel.
Bro's emotional.
You're playing like a fucking idiot, Chucky. What the fuck are you doing? Like, why did we leave our Zer0?
Once you start getting like that, like that's gonna kill your play style. So like I've started being more positive and more confident in my fights, and like it's like 10x. I'm 10x better than I used to be.
Something you both like ran out of the room.
I don't fucking know.
I just stopped caring.
The doorway and broke my
when I get in fights.
It was at this point when Zer0 started to gain immense backlash. He was labeled as socially inept, a jerk, and even insufferable. Sentiments that were somewhat reasonable considering how Zer0 acted. It was shortly after when Sharky decided to stop competing.
Oh, so he didn't get kicked?
No, he didn't kick. He just came up to us and is like, I don't want to like play anymore. I'm like, what? Just out of nowhere.
Oh shit.
With the combination of losing a long-time teammate, he lost most of his motivation.
Yeah.
But it didn't take long for Zer0 to bounce back. After all, he had a legacy to uphold. And in replacement of Sharky, they brought in a player by the name
that aim
of
is
Zer0.
fucked though.
And once again, Zer0 began proving to everyone why he was the most consistent leader in the game.
They're losing, they're taking damage, but no! Here comes Zer0! Zer0! The captain! The IG out to send it back down under!
It was here when Zer0 began to fully embody what many people called him. Many were preying on his downfall, but in spite of all the backlash, he would win time after time regardless of how many people supported him. It had earned him the name of a villain. Someone who will do anything to win, that the results justify the means to get there, no matter how bad of a person it can make you seem. An alter ego. But being aware is a curse. It didn't matter how much he'd won before. He wasn't a winner until he'd won again and again and again. So much so he began playing 12 hours a day, starting 2 months before the next ALGS split.
I know Zer0 like...
If I had time to play 12 hours a day, I swear to God I'd be impressed.
I can tell Zer0 really wanted this, right? Like they were playing so much. Like they had to go to London early just because they didn't have a visa to stay in the US, but they were boot camping for like 2 weeks straight or something like that, maybe more. Playing scrims every day, playing TDM.
But burnout is real, and it became clear that Zer0 was beginning to feel the effects.
Yeah, burnout
His communication lacked energy, he sounded exhausted, and as they slipped into the losers bracket, it became apparent that Zer0 was stepping up to IGL more often, compensating for Zer0's lack of calls.
Yeah.
The result? Their worst performance yet, finishing 23rd and failing to make the finals. The first time they fell short, it was due to complacency. The second time, burnout took its toll. But now, they were searching for the perfect balance. They were on the right track to win the next ALGS, right? Fast forward to the 2024 Split 1 playoffs, and you could see a noticeable change in the team.
Man, that'd be so bad.
They were dominating.
It's Sykes and Zer0 up against the last member of Legend, and Dark Zer0 go back to back to back!
10k damage for Jen Burton with literally 25 kills. That is the most dominant performance in group stages.
If there was no hacking in Apex, I swear
we have ever seen, not only in one set, but throughout the whole first 2 days of groups. They now set the record for the most points ever in a group stage setting.
And everyone was convinced they would win. And even in the finals lobby, everything was on track. They were one of the 2 teams to reach match point by round 5, and then they started struggling.
Keep running, keep running! Go, run! Are you fucking mad? Just shut up!
Don't listen to him. Yeah, they did through the whole game. God damn.
He's at the building. He's at the building, Jen. He's at the building, Jen.
Oh my God, bro. Shut the fuck up. I hate when it gets like that.
You got a smoke, man? I think you can pick on me. I'll have to...
It was like they had these glowing targets on their back, and they were subject to being griefed game after game after game. But it was only a matter of time. A matter of time before another team would sweep the rug beneath them.
Of Serenity, C9, biding their time, waiting for their moment. As all of Rejectwinity find themselves with red evos.
Oh, he's fucking right in front of the bullets.
It's a massive moment for Apex. It's a huge moment for Apex North.
For the first time in history, a team other than TSM or Dark Zer0 won. It was a key historical moment, but this also meant the competition was beginning to catch up. So Zer0 decides to make a change, one that would shake the very core of Apex Legends. A move that most believed was impossible. A move that would unite two of the greatest players in the game. A move that revealed a new layer of his ambition, hinting at the bold and unpredictable choices that lay ahead. After the 2024 Split 1 playoffs, Hal's contract was nearing its end. And naturally, every team had their eyes set on him. Zer0 included. And Hal, being provided the opportunity to join Zer0, didn't hesitate in his choice. Theoretically, this team was impossible to maintain due to the high salary Zer0 and Hal demanded, which Dark Zer0 could not afford. But one team was about to make it possible. And that team is called the Falcons.
I'll be teaming with Zer0 and Jen Burton now moving forward.
Hal not on TSM? What is happening? What is going on in life?
Holy shit! Philip Fatcock has joined.
I'm gonna try again. Fuck you guys.
Hal not on TSM? Is it April Fools? Still one of the craziest things. I think Zer0 and Hal and them are gonna play so well. I think they're gonna be a great team.
Immediately, the entire industry was turned upside down. The buzz around this new super team was impossible to ignore. Some people were curious as to how the team would perform, while others were sure it would ruin the competitive integrity of the game. Point is, everyone began feeding them this idea that they had no competition, they were the greatest super team of all time, and that they were leagues above everyone else. But here's the catch with being labeled the greatest before the game's even played. When everyone tells you you're untouchable, it's easy to believe.
Yeah, dude.
And that belief, it might just set you up for the hardest crash of your life. A few months later, the Falcons competed in the Esports World Cup. The tournament ran under a different set of rules. Instead of the usual 50 points needed to reach match points, that number was increased to 60, after which a win would be needed to finish off the tournament. The result of that tournament, they placed second. The overall result was not bad. They were leading in second by quite a large margin. But considering how much expectation was behind the team, this performance did not live up to the hype. It exposed a reality many weren't willing to acknowledge. The Falcons weren't as ahead of the curve as they appeared, and other teams still had a very real chance of winning at LAN. It was great news. That small opening widened when a few major changes were implemented in the game. Aim assist was nerfed, and the meta was completely changing. And then came the 2024 Split 2 playoffs. The Falcons, well, they came into the tournament as crowd favorites. But something was different, and things were about to go so wrong.
No, I am.
Right here.
Give me knock.
Right that way,
Bro, like, how do you not have EMP?
It's game 4, and the Falcons are behind, uncharacteristically behind. And this number would only begin to drop game after game as they failed to secure any points for the remaining 5 games. And then came the death sentence.
Guild has been eliminated. Alliance still has a duo, by the way. Might be dropping here. Unlucky on his own. Won't win it. But SSG will become your champions here in Germany.
Some would look at this and see a little bit of darkness, maybe. Lauren, hopefully not, but Team Falcons with a 0 there, coming in 20th place overall. This is not what we expected. The player on that team, Zer0, is the defending Split 2 champion. And you look at this and say, this is gotta mean something happens differently for the super team.
Like, long story short, there was a lack of confidence.
Yeah.
In combination of bad games, it turned into like a mental spiral of doom.
Didn't like they had a pretty like bad read of the meta, and they didn't understand like the bang Newcastle cat thing.
We should go.
They didn't end up practicing it early enough, and that like Newcastle's a hard character to play.
I don't know. I feel like the crypto meta, anyone could just win, bro. Personally, it's just so stupid.
But in the world of esports, a fall from grace doesn't have to be permanent.
Nope.
For Zer0 and the Falcons, the next chapter is waiting to be written. Whether they'd rise again or fade into obscurity, only time will tell.
Damn. Well, that'd be fucking fun to do tournaments. I hope.